Hey guys, it's Kim. Welcome back to today's video. So today is really fun and it's something that I've been looking forward to. So I picked up the brand new Makeup Revolution and EMILYNOEL 83 collab. This is the Emily Edit The Wants palette, and ever since Emily announced that she was collabing with Makeup Revolution, I was so beyond excited to get her collab. Emily is one of my absolute favorite YouTubers. I watch all her videos, I comment on all of her videos, and the fact that she did a collab, someone who is just so deserving. She is so honest and she doesn't do any sponsorships. Not that there's anything wrong with sponsorships. I do them, everyone does them, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, the fact that she is so true to herself and she's so down to earth. She is so knowledgeable and she has so many just wonderful things to say, and I truly just value her opinion on makeup, and I value her videos, and her content is amazing, and she's just very much an inspiration to me on YouTube, and she always has been. I've been watching her forever, like since the beginning, since she started. So to know that she finally came out with her own collab was just amazing. I felt so excited for her and so happy for her because she truly deserves it. So I had to go and pick up this palette from Ulta, and the first Ulta I went to, it was sold out. So I finally found it and I was like, grabbed it off the shelf. I was so excited. Today I'm going to do a review on Emily's palette, and I'm going to do a look and swatches and just show you guys how I came up with this look that I absolutely love. So if you guys are excited to find out my thoughts and how I got this look using the new Emily Edit palette from her collab with Makeup Revolution, then just keep watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. It's going to be that first link down below, and also make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Very important. And let's get into this exciting review on this collab. So like I was telling you guys, I could not be more excited for this collab, and the fact that she came out with an eyeshadow palette made me even more happy. So this is what the inside of the palette looks like, and one of the things I love is the huge mirror in here. It is amazing. I was using it when I was filming this look today, and I was just so obsessed with how big it is. It's perfect for travel. I would totally take this palette traveling with me. So this palette actually retails for $20, which I think is an amazing value for all of the shades that you're getting in here. So you have 24 shades, and one of the things that I truly love about this palette is that I find the color scheme to be super unique. Like, I look at this palette and I think of so many different looks that I can do. Like, it's not just a neutrals palette. She has her neutrals in here, which I love because I use this for work. Just like, I do very basic makeup for work, like especially in the mornings. I'm in a rush. I edit in the morning before I go to work, and I'm always in a rush, so I always kind of like a hot mess, not gonna lie. I love the variety in here because I need those neutrals to build the look, but then everything else she has in here is just like, it's so good because I feel super inspired. And I love how many mattes she has in here. It totally makes me excited. I definitely love mattes, and the shimmers in here are great as well. So one thing that I've learned when using this palette is that, and Emily describes it as this as well, it is very buildable. So you can build up the shades, so it's going to be easy to use if you're a beginner, which I love. Especially also like drugstore price point. I think this is a great palette to start out with. And also you're supporting someone who is an amazing YouTuber, so there's that as well. I love that you get like purples in here. I use the purples today because I was just feeling them. You get these gorgeous greens. I cannot wait to use the shade Corduroy. It's totally a standout shade to me, that deep like emerald. Oh my gosh, so excited about that. And I just think it's a very multi-purpose palette, and the looks are endless, which is amazing. She really, you can tell, thought about this palette, what colors to put in it, and I love just knowing that she spent so much time kind of like making this a labor of love and deciding on what colors to put in, swatching them, putting them next to each other. It's just like, you can tell the thought and passion that went into this. I love it, I really do. So I'm wearing, what am I wearing today? I'm wearing the Cream, Prayer, Midwest. I'm also wearing Pizzazz. I'm wearing Eve Rose, Belle Violet, and I think that's it. Oh, and Pi Phi. I'm also wearing Pi Phi. So I wanted to use tons of shades to really test them out. And I must say, I do find the colors to be very nice eyeshadows. They are pigmented, but it's not overwhelming. Like, it's not going to be like you dip your brush in and you're like, oh my gosh, I picked up too much product. It's going to be just enough. And the fallout was minimal. You guys will see when I do my tutorial. It was barely anything. It was there, but not a lot. And I just always usually do my eyes first anyways with any single eyeshadow palette that I use, so that's never really an issue for me unless it's like completely covering my face or something. The mix in here is just awesome. The matte to shimmer ratio I think is perfect, and I just get excited when I open up this palette. I'm like, what look am I going to create today is the vibe that I get, and the shades really do blend out beautifully. I had no issues with patchiness or anything like that because I was using a ton of them today, and I wanted to put them to the test and see if this palette performed, and it definitely did. And I know Emily wouldn't put out something that she truly didn't believe in, because she is so just like true to herself and hardworking, and I just trusted her when it came to her makeup release. So also I want to say that the packaging I think is so beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. I love the color. It's like that blush pink, a little bit of peach. I love that her name is like written out, like she actually wrote that out herself. I think it's beautiful. It feels sturdy. It does not feel cheap or anything. It feels like a nice, heavy, good weight palette. It does take up a lot of room. I mean, it's a big palette, but it's thin. Like, look how thin that is. So you could slide this into your Alex drawer, your makeup drawer, whatever, and you can see it's a very slim palette. It's just, you know, it's bigger because you're getting a lot of eyeshadow shades in here. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just kind of letting you guys know. So this is like the comparison. I guess I'll show you guys like a size comparison. You can see here is the Emily palette, and then here is the Norvina palette. So you can kind of compare them next to each other. As far as sizing goes, each of the shades in the Wands palette is 0.85 grams. And again, for comparison, something like an Anastasia palette, these are 0.71 grams. So you do get a decent amount of product in Emily's palette. So those are pretty much my thoughts on this palette, and I am really enjoying using it. I love the look I was able to create today, and again, I just feel really inspired. Like, I can't wait to try it again tomorrow. I can't wait to try the greens and see what else I can come up with. And it's just a really solid palette, and I'm not just saying that to be like, oh, like, I love Emily, I want to compliment her palette. Like, I would tell you guys if I didn't like something. Like, this shade right here, the cream, is not my favorite matte shade. I tell you guys that when I do the look. But overall, every shade I've used has performed really nicely. Just kind of work with the shade, build it up, and you will see the colors like there. And each shade stands on its own. Like, nothing is blending into each other. Like, each color I saw on my eye and it stood out. So those are my thoughts really on this palette, and I want to get into the swatches and show you guys how these swatch, and then I'm going to show you guys this look that I got. If you guys want to see swatches of Emily's eyeshadow palette, then just keep on watching.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on
is it for the swatches. I hope you enjoyed. And now I'm gonna get on into this look that I created today. It's like a purpley, I don't know what I want to call it. It's just like a purpley, plummy kind of look, and I love it. So if you guys want to find out how I got this eye look, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so here we have the Emily Edit palette, and I have been playing with this for a couple of days now, and one of the things that I really enjoy about this palette is that I feel like the possibilities can really be endless. Like you can just create a different look every single day. Like it's not a boring palette by any means, like an exciting palette, which is so fun. And I expected nothing less from Emily to give us just so many great colors, and you have your neutrals but you also have your fun shades, and it's just the perfect balance. So I don't even know what look I want to create today because I feel like I haven't even like dived into the majority of shades in this palette. So I'm just gonna start, I guess, and see where this tutorial takes me. So I'm gonna start out with the cream, and I already applied my eyeshadow primer. I used today the Coastal Scent Step 1 eye primer. This is really good. And the cream, I will say, is not my favorite matte shade. Like it's good. For me, it's just a tad too white, just like a touch too white. I like something a little bit more cream based. It's decent. And I'm just gonna apply this all over where I put that eyeshadow primer. See how it's just like a little bit light? It's almost like a white matte, I would say. But if you have very fair skin, this might be the perfect matte brow bone shade for you. So then, like all my other tutorials, I always like to go in with a matte transition shade in the crease. So I think the shade I'm gonna use today is gonna be Midwest. And that's just like your standard orangey matte shade, and I've been using this a ton in my crease and I really like it. It's not too overwhelming or pigmented of a shade. It's like just perfect enough to blend out in your crease, and I really appreciate that. It defines the eye a little bit. Another thing I love is this mirror. It's so big, so great for getting ready in the morning, or even just right now as I'm filming. It's coming in so handy. It's like, it's the best mirror I've ever had in a palette, to be quite honest. This shade right here, Prayer, and I'm gonna take another crease brush. I'm just gonna put that right into the crease. Just deepen it up a little bit. And this is also like a warm orangey shade. I already love the way that looks. The shades blended out really nicely. I don't see any fallout. And I feel like they're very beginner friendly. Like you could create looks easily. So that's a good sign. So you guys know I like to do this. I take a little bit of concealer on like a flat synthetic brush and I kind of carve out my lid. It's not necessarily like a cut crease. It just honestly helps to make the look more put together. And it makes the shadows pop a bit more. So I'm just gonna put this concealer on my lid and I try and do it up to that crease shade. And you're gonna see how this helps to kind of like define the look. I'm just gonna do the same thing on this side. Carve out my lid. So now that we like carved out the lid and set down a good base, I think I want to play with this purple shade right here, Belle Violet, which is Emily's daughter. And actually, it surprised me, I swatched it and it's much lighter like as a swatch, and it appears in the palette. Like in the palette, it looks like a pretty, kind of pretty medium purple shade, but when you apply it, it's so much lighter. So I'm just putting this right over where we put that concealer. Oh my gosh, this shade is gorgeous. I feel like I've never worn a shade like this before. It's very unique. It's kind of like a lilac. all, don't get this in your crease, just right on the lid. Love the combo of the warm crease shade and then the purple on the lid. It's so pretty. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that on this eye. And I'm just using like a kind of like a packing motion like this. I also want to see how these shades perform with setting spray, so I'm just gonna spray some of my MAC Fix Plus on a brush. It looks pretty good with the base underneath, but I just want to test out a bunch of different things while we're playing. Definitely adds an extra like layer of punch when you add the setting spray, because I really like the way that looks. I loved it before, but now I think it looks even more awesome. A bit of this shade right here, Pizzazz, and I'm gonna just kind of put that right here on the lid, like where that purple ends and where the outer corner meets. And I'm just gonna blend those two. Kind of gives like a really pretty purple fade. It's very subtle, but pretty. Love the way that this color is mixing with the purple, and it's just making like the prettiest blend of shades. I'm gonna take this shade right here, Pi Phi. It's like a matte violet color. It looks beautiful, and I feel like it's gonna hopefully complement this eye look nicely. And I'm just using this like small crease brush, and I'm just gonna place this right on the outer corner and just kind of gradually build it up. I don't want to go too crazy and like ruin the look, but just place it in the very outer corner, and then I'm kind of brushing it up into the crease a little bit, not all the way, just a little. Just working on a V shape, basically. Do love the way that looks, and it blended out very easily. There's a little bit of fallout, but it's honestly minimal. Really minimal. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing to this eye. Just gently and like slowly add that matte shade in the outer V. I kind of want every shade to like have its own place. Like I don't want to get rid of that pizzazz color we just applied. I want everything to kind of show up. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Love. I love how buildable these are, and that's one of the things Emily did say, is that she wanted the shades to be buildable, and they totally are. Very happy with the way that looks. I want to go back to the cream, the matte like whitish beige shade, and just place that right on the brow bone. You can also take this around. Love this look so much. I am like so into like the purples, the maroon shades. I'm very into this right now. So I think then I want to do, I always forget to do my lower lash line, so I'm not going to forget it this time. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I think I'm going to first take Pizzazz, which is that shimmery shade, and I'm going to place that as like my first lower lash line color, and we're going to mix a couple of them together. So just kind of put that on there. And you're not really going to see this honestly too much on the lower lash line. It's going to be very faint. Then I'm going to take Pi Phi, which is that matte shade we use in the outer corner, and I'm going to put that right on the outer corner. Then I do want to take a little bit of the shade Eve Rose. It's like a light pinky with like a little bit of a lilac undertone. And I just want to put that right on the tear duct for a little bit of light pop. I always like to do that. Have something a little bit lighter on the inner corner. I just think it looks flattering. And this shade is super, super pretty. It's kind of like a, I don't know, it's pretty unique. That's why I like this palette, because a lot of the shades are really different from things that we've been seeing recently, and I love that. Okay, I feel like that just totally like brightened up the look. Very minimal, but you can see it. So I feel like this look calls for a purpley liner, so I'm going to use the NYX Faux Whites eyeliner in Lavender Smoke. You guys know I'm like obsessed with these. And I'm just going to put this right into my waterline. And this goes perfectly with the lid color. So then I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes. I'm going to use the Tarte Clay Paint Liner. I've been in love with this recently. I've always loved it, but I started using it again and I'm like, oh man, I just love this stuff. It makes your eyes look just so like crisp, and your wing liner is matte black. I love it. So I'm going to use this to create my wing today. Okay, liner is done, lashes are curled. I'm gonna go ahead and put on some mascara, and today I'm using the, ooh, it just dropped it. The IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, and this is another product that I have just absolutely been loving recently. It gives amazing volume and length, and this is actually the Ulta birthday gift. Sometimes I really love mini mascaras of like high-end mascaras better than the full size. Like Benefit They're Real, I love the mini. Was not obsessed with the full size. Okay, so I'm gonna apply lashes today too, which is a little bit different for me. I feel like I have not been applying lashes. I've just been going with my natural lashes, which is totally fine. I just got these yesterday. These are the Kiss Pixie Blowout lashes. I got the multi-pack. I love these. Probably one of my favorite pairs of drugstore lashes. So I am going to apply these, and I feel like they're just going to make the look even more beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply these little lashes. I tell you guys, I still have not perfected applying lashes. Some people do it so quick, and I'm like, I'm just over here still trying to get them on, getting those corners to stick. No, it's like so hard. Okay, so I'm gonna go finish up the rest of my face. I'm gonna do my foundation, concealer, brows, all that, and then I will come back and chat with you guys again. Alright guys, so that is it for my review and tutorial on the new Emily Edit the Wants palette from her collab with Makeup Revolution. I am so happy with this palette, so happy I picked it up, and let me know if you guys picked it up or you're going to. I highly recommend it. I think it's awesome. It's great if you're starting out with makeup. It's great if you just love makeup and want to add it to your collection. I do not think you will be disappointed in the shade selection. There's just so much you can do, and a variety. Like, you have your colors, you have your mattes, you have your shimmers, you have neutrals, so there's a lot to play around with. And I feel like some people have been saying, oh, like palettes have been so boring lately. Well, here's a palette that's not boring. You can really do something different with. So definitely check it out. It's very affordable. It's drugstore. You can get it at Ulta. And I think she did an amazing job. So congratulations, Emily, on your palette. I love when good things happen to very good people who deserve things. That is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review and tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!